Hey guys, welcome to Boxing Squared for boxing news and views from around the internet. The Deontay Wilder and Tyson Fury press conference has been held in Los Angeles, and yeah, it's an interesting sort of event. Maybe not the spice and pizzazz as some may have thought, but there were a few storylines coming through, particularly in the question and answers where Tyson Fury was adamant he is going for the knockout. He says he's going to knock Deontay Wilder out in 2 rounds. He's explicitly sort of referenced that he'd had a dream and that something about 2 rounds. He said Wilder's going to sleep in 2 rounds, ain't coming for a points decision, coming for a knockout. And he also had a new nickname for Deontay Wilder, Skinny Legs Super Noodle. But this whole thing about the knockout, he referenced he wanted to get into the center of the ring. He said, I won't be running. I'm going to be trading with you. Come to the center of the ring. I won't be hard to find. Let's have a shootout. Let's make it a Hearns-Hagler type of affair. But part of me just thinks that that's just not going to happen. And some of this just could be misdirection on Tyson Fury's part. Even though he said, yeah, look, I'm being genuine. This is what I mean to do. This is what I'm going to do in there. I think we're going to get more of the first fight style of fight than rather than some sort of in the ring trading away and Tyson Fury going for a knockout. Because he says he is going to lay Wilder out here. But yeah, I'm just not convinced. And he even said if he was going to revert to the same strategy from the first fight, then he would have kept Ben Davison on. And he was asked about the change of trainer, and he said, look, you're never the finished article, you can always improve. But definitely referenced that moving trainers was a big part of his strategy for the knockout for this fight because he wants to get a knockout in this one. Yeah, I don't know about that, but his opening statements, if we just touch on them briefly, they were relatively brief. It was only sort of a couple of minutes max. He said he can't remember a bigger heavyweight fight in a long time. Said that maybe the Lennox Lewis and Mike Tyson fight was the last big fight like this rematch, the last US versus UK showdown. And he said he didn't need to sell the fight. People know what they're going to get. It says exactly what it says on the tin, that you're going to get a good fight. And he was very adamant in saying that while people expect a points win from him and a knockout from Wilder, either of those two results, he said expect the opposite of what people think. Expect Wilder to come out boxing and moving, looking for a points victory, and me to come out bombing, looking for a knockout. Yeah, I don't know about that. Like I said, I'm more expecting the same version or something similar from the first fight rather than some guy that's planting his feet, just absolutely going hell for leather in the center of the ring. But interestingly, he said that Deontay Wilder had not been returning his calls, messages, or texts since the first fight, that he'd been trying to keep his distance. And Deontay Wilder, he must have spoken for about 5 minutes or so. He said it's one of the biggest fights of this era for sure. He said he can't wait to get back into camp, and he said he's healthy right now, that his body feels like it's woken into the 6th week of camp instead of the 3rd, that it's been amazing for him, it's been a quick turnaround. And he did reference of rematches that he's always sharp, and he believes that the rematch advantage will be something that he can do here. But I think that sort of forgets Tyson Fury has been in rematches. And actually there was a question from a journalist who said Tyson Fury hadn't been in rematches, and Wilder, you have, asking the question, and Tyson Fury jumped in and said, I've had 2 rematches, what are you talking about, get your facts straight. But of the rematch angle, Wilder said this time around this is called unfinished business. He won't be able to get up, and since he's in the WWE, I'm going to make sure he goes out of the ring, and I might get on the top of the buckle of the rope and come down with a flying elbow kick. I'm not sure if he meant just a flying elbow, because I'm not sure what an elbow kick is, but yeah, interesting stuff. But he did think that the rematch was bigger this time because of the controversy of the referee from the first fight. Well, his perceived controversy because he believes the count was long that he knocked Tyson Fury out. But he did speak about the last year since they met, with the 2 opponents that they respectively faced, with Tom Schwartz and Otto Wallin for Tyson Fury, and he faced Dominic Breazeale and Luis Ortiz. He said his opposition was a lot more dangerous, that Tyson Fury played it safe. As he said, he played it safe in the playground. I went to the mountaintop and climbed it. One just want to survive, where I'm building my legacy. And in recent days and weeks, he's been talking of the lineal status, saying that, it's going to disappear after February the 22nd, that Fury's the one that has been sort of bringing this up just because he doesn't have a physical belt right now. And he sort of had more comments in that vein, although later on in the press conference he did sort of reference, taking all the accolades away from this, and Fury called him out on that contradiction. But of the lineal title, he said, Fury's make-believe and fake belt even have events that goes 12 rounds, only belt he has is the one that he's wearing. February 22nd, that lineal BS ends. And he did take a pot shot at Fury, predictably so, about why so many changes. You can't prepare for my power. And he said that he's glad that Tyson Fury has a second job in reference to wrestling, because he said that he will need it. But yeah, there were some good sort of bits and pieces in there. Maybe it wasn't the sort of blockbuster, the sort of like the first press tour in 2018, where there was a lot of heat, there was a bit of pushing and shoving, and it's a bit more theatrics than this press conference. Certainly, this was quite tame by comparison. And given it was quite tame by comparison, you could ask the question, did they actually need to have it? Because there was a lack of fireworks in this one. But for the local sort of market, the Los Angeles, the wider area there, that's actually going to be good to get the sort of stories out into that market. Obviously, if people want to travel up to Las Vegas, you need to get the word out. And actually, Jimmy Lennon Jr. was quite vociferous in saying this will be a sellout. Get your ticket quick. So yeah, ticket sales have been going okay, but I guess between now and the fight, you may see some people sitting back, waiting for some bargains in fight week, as always seems to be the sort of play in the United States. The closer the fight gets, as they look to make sure it's as full as possible or a sellout, the ticket prices drop. At the start, where there's that initial interest, the prices sort of flex up. Some of the seats have been going for huge amounts, even in the nosebleeds, over $1,000. So expect people to hold out looking for better value as the fight approaches. But overall, yeah, the press conference was what it was. Maybe it wasn't what some of us were expecting, given the prior history with the press conference tour of 2018, but definitely worthwhile, I believe, still having this. And yeah, February the 22nd, it's going to come around quick. What did you make of it all? Drop a comment, loud and often. Hit like, hit subscribe, follow me on Twitter, boxing_squared. I'm out.